All right, Brett. Battlefield.
All right.
More controversy.
Battlefield 5.
They can't win. They just can't win.
No. So some people have discovered that there are some profanity filters in Battlefield 5 that really are kind of odd and strange and shouldn't be there. Battlefield says it's an issue that they say they're aware of, but it's still something that's like, how did these even get in there in the first place?
Right. Yeah.
So first thing, most notably for me, I think, is that if you type the phrase white man into conversation, it is
say what?
Profanity. They blank it out. They asterisk it all. They cut it out. You can't say white man.
Good.
You can say black man. You can say any other race, but you can't say white man.
We don't need no white man in chat.
No, you don't need no white man in chat. In addition to that, if you type DLC, that's censored. So you can't type DLC in a chat. Why? I have no idea. But if you type free DLC with the qualifier free before it, then you can type that because the whole game is going to have free DLC.
Is DLC like code for dick, lock, cock?
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, the hell? Why would DLC
seems that way?
You cannot talk about DLC in our chat.
So they said that DLC was a mistake. I don't believe that, but whatever. Like you have to put these profanity filters in. It's not like it's blocking all the words and you say what it excludes. You are inputting these profanity filters. So like somebody totally put that in there.
Oh yeah.
They're just now finding it out and it's like getting. So this is just another thing that adds to the frustration of this game. Is just not. They're just not doing a job. Their marketing company is destroying themselves.
Worst press I've ever seen a Battlefield game get.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. What's the worst press any game's gotten?
I don't know, man.
At least in the past few years.
Other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like one thing after another. They just can't win. Like
they've always had issues.
It's because of EA. This is all EA's fault. Like I was saying earlier to everybody. Like, I wonder what DICE would have done differently if they had not gone with EA. Now, I understand from a financial standpoint, that might have been an issue. Like, they needed to go with some kind of huge publisher. Yeah. They just can't. They couldn't afford it. They couldn't get the manpower. I don't know. Whatever it was. But it's just like, man,
well,
I wonder how it would be.
Like, EA was a well-respected franchise. Like,
really?
They were founded on the idea that...
I've never known them to be that.
No, they've been... like, early on, EA was... Like, I loved EA in the early days. Like, I absolutely adored them. But they were great. It's just only been the last like 3 or 4 years that they've really like kind of shat themselves because they went public and they started growing and getting bigger. But like when they started, their founding like thing was that they're a company for the gamers. Like that's what they were all about. And then that vision has been lost over time. But like early on, I loved EA because EA published Medal of Honor. They published Battlefield. They published the Need for Speed franchise, which used to be amazing. And then the Need for Speed franchise went to shit. And then they basically have taken all their franchises and put them to shit.
It only took 3 years for me to like not ever remember EA being a good company.
I mean, think of you even got a freaking, Mass Effect. Like we loved Mass Effect. Yeah. That was an EA published game.
Yeah, but it was BioWare.
But it was published by EA.
Yeah.
Battlefield's also by DICE, but it's published by EA. So like they're both controlling, they're both.
Well, I guess that was a time that EA was still pretty decent.
Yeah, so I mean, EA has not always been a bunch of shitheads, but now they are shitheads, and that's kind of where things have gone, unfortunately. And so sad. Yeah, but this is like what I think is just corporate bullshit that's happening.
Oh yeah,
like you get so big that you start to. I mean, they're all about like having all those diversity stuff that's being in there, and they're trying to be inclusive and everything. But it shows that people don't necessarily want that in their game. They want it to be a game that is grounded first and foremost. They want it to be the game that they've grown to love. Like I started Battlefield with 1942, which was World War II. So when this game was announced, I was like, fuck yeah, we're going back to the roots, the original. Right. And then like all this stuff is coming in here. Like what the hell? Like this is just crazy. Like that first trailer still was garbage.
It is. It is the worst garbage ever.
And it's better. I mean, like we talked about earlier in the game segment, like it's fun, but I still look back to the early days of like El Alamein and like playing Wake Island and playing freaking Guadalcanal and all those maps that were just so iconic and great. like well designed, well laid out, well balanced. Like you had infantry, you could do good damage with infantry. But then you had tanks, you had jeeps, you had planes, you had boats you could drive around. All that was awesome. And it's all
could have
like
brought some of those maps
not there
back
anymore.
too.
That'd be great.
Maybe
yeah,
do
so
like
they do like a different area of war, which is less known.
Yeah,
but still, it's weird. I don't know.
I was watching this video I sent you. He was talking about like the original Battlefield and how that was laid out. It was this like huge map, right? And then like you got these points of contact where everyone's battling against like that, and then there would be like a front that everyone's trying to battle on to like, you know, that put tug of war and try to get to that point. And they're trying to get here. And it's just like, sounds awesome. Obviously, I don't think the maps are as big as that anymore. Not even nearly as big as that.
They're definitely small. Yeah, I mean, these ones are, which I'm just hoping that they made them small just to focus on the infantry combat stuff, because that's where probably most of the changes came into play.
Right.
Was like, we talked about the ammo and all that stuff. Like, that's all squad-based infantry combat gameplay stuff.
Right.
So maybe that's just for the sake of this open beta. And then later on, we're going to see like what Battlefield really is all about.
Right.
But still not like super clear. They had that This Is Battlefield trailer that came out the day we launched the last podcast, and it explained all the different game modes. And I was kind of hyped about some of the stuff. Like they talked more on, which we'll talk about later, more on Battlefield 5's Firestorm Battle Royale mode. So there's a lot of stuff that is really cool. Sounds great, but there's just something not right with everything.
Right.
And it's hard to place what that is, but definitely this is not helping the problem. So head on over to thegamer.net for our full podcast episode for our weekly game impressions and top headlines of the week.
That's one of me doing an interview. Here's one of all of us. We'll make some cool things.
Brett's also right here.
Like this video, subscribe, keep up with all the latest video game news and opinions that you care about right here on The Inner Gamer.